In the last video, we made this three-dimensional part. Now we're going to make our add-on be model-based definitions like so. So we'll start adding dimensions to this 3D model. So we've been accustomed to adding it to our sketches, but this might be a little bit new to you. We want to dimension this one to be 5.5, but we want it to be along the vertical plane. So in that case, rather, you right click and you say select annotation plane. And it looks like it's given us some kind of X-ray view there to say, do you want it along that axis? And you go, yes. Okay, now we could, and for each one of these, make it the proper number of digits. And I'll try to do that just for completeness. Surprised that it's not carrying over from what we had before. Maybe hit the green check mark. And we've got one out of a dozen here complete. Let's keep going. See if I can get faster with this as we move along. We're going to go from, let's say, that edge all the way over to this edge. Let's see if I can bring it back home and then raise it up. So I got kind of lucky on the way that I did that. Click it. Then this is tedious. I wish we could just set the default somewhere for this precision. There probably is a place to do that. All right, two down. Now let's do these on the end, and we'll kind of keep going around counterclockwise. So let's do the one from, let's see here. How would we pull this off? Looks kind of challenging. Dimension this way. Okay, got lucky on that. Let's hit the tab key to rotate the text, just so it looks more like our drawing. Over here on the right-hand side, that is. Now this other one looks kind of tricky. I'm not sure how I'm gonna say select the center of that. I don't think it'll let me just say do this and then select that and then come over here. Although that's exactly what it did. The only thing it didn't get right was the plane. So we're going to say change the annotation plane, and we want that back plane out there. Oh no, we want the top plane. Let me do that again. Right click this one, and we want this plane. Look at that. Okay, so that kind of worked out well. I should have rotated the text before I did that. I don't know if I can do that here, actually. I could do this part. If I tab, can I rotate the text? Let's see, what does the plus sign do? Okay, so that's kind of annoying that you can't go back and edit that, I don't think. Tab key should rotate. I don't think there's any extra things over here, so I'm just not seeing a way to, let's see, what does that say? Pin mini toolbar position. Okay, that's not something we want. So since the text is not aligned right, we're gonna have to do it again. So I selected the wall thickness, or the walls rather, and then this edge. And then I right click on the gray area and say select this plane, pull out that direction, then hit tab to rotate the text. Place a number in place, then reduce the number of digits. Maybe I shouldn't make this a requirement, or I need to figure out like how we can make a global setting so that it's doing that properly for us. If we do go to tools and document settings and you go over here, it still says this right here. This is for Angular display, so that doesn't matter. Let's see if there's any other default settings over here that we can change that might help us out. Yeah, I don't see any. Just display tolerance. Yeah, I'm not really seeing where we are at there, or a place that we can change that. Okay, I guess we can check this right here, see if there's anything there that we can change. No. So I'm not really sure why it is not honoring the one place past the decimal, but we will move forward. Our next one, going back to annotation, dimension, this edge, we want to have it along this, oops. We want it along this face. Well, how do we get to that face? We want this face right here. It's not quite letting us get there. Okay, so we'll come back to that one. That looks a little bit odd. Maybe if we select that first, then hit dimension. And still, we can't seem to pull it down to that area. So I'll come back to that one in a minute. Let's do some easier ones. Perhaps this one might be easier. We'll see. Select annotation plane, pull it out this way. For some reason, it says 3.5. So that clearly means I made a mistake somewhere along the way. So we're going to make sure we fix all these errors along the way. I think the standing upright like that is probably a good way to leave the text as far as its orientation. There's a precision. We can click OK. Now to fix this right here, because it really needs to be 3, you can go back up to your original sketch, edit the sketch. And so somewhere I didn't do the math properly. So the entire height from there to there, it says 2.5 here, and it says 3 here. Okay, so there's something that I'm not seeing properly here. Let me see. Yeah, okay. This is not really 3 right here. That's not correct. It needs to be 3 on this side. So let me delete that one and put it in the proper place over here on this side. And let's see if it'll let me change that to 3. Is it still fully constrained? It is. That was an error on my part. Hopefully you caught that before I did. And it says, do you want to, I guess, pull these changes forward? And it looks like you do have that happening. Now it has a problem with the fillet because this depth right here is not matching up with this one here. So let's check things out here. I think the depth of this cut right here should be, let's see, 2.5, I think. So let's go back up to this extrusion here and see if we made it 2.5. Okay. And everything's back in order. We want to add another one out here for, I guess, the entire thing. So we can go down from this bottom one up to this top one over here to the left-hand side. I like the orientation of that. It looks pretty good. Okay. And then we want this radius as well. So let's continue our counterclockwise path. Okay, and then we need the 3.0 down here at the bottom. Still in dimension mode. Let's see if I can right click and let's say select other. That did not let us select this front plane. Seems odd that it doesn't want to let us do that. Select plane. How about this one? Okay, we got lucky on that one, maybe. Or we can say that we were skilled, right? And we've made another one around the corner. Let's go ahead and make the height next of 0.75, and we'll squeeze it in there just as they did. So dimension still highlighted. We want this one. Oh, green check mark. Dimension. We want that one along this face. They want the text rotated, so hit the tab key. And it's not putting it up on the inside, but that's going to be okay for us. I think it's because of the font size that we decided to use. So I think in this case, we're going to have to be okay with it setting like that. The gap width is going to be here. Let's rotate the text with the tab key, and that's 1.5. Notice I left this one with 2 digits beyond the decimal, but this one I will not. And make it identical to this one. Then we have a 1.25. And to me, if you have symmetry, you don't really need this one. But because we're trying to make things identical to what we have over here, let's go ahead and add that one. So 1.25. And then we need to right click in the gray area and say select annotation plane, then drop it down, hit the tab key to rotate the text. It doesn't want to put it in the middle, which I'm okay with. It kind of shows you the same thing over here as well. And we'll keep 2 places past the decimal. Let's keep coming around and pick up anything we did not finish. So we will take this edge and we need to select the back plane. Let's see. Okay, there I'm actually selecting the back plane using X-ray vision. And 2.5 is our measurement. Green check mark. Let's put this one in here, the 2 inches along that surface. So dimension here, and it's already doing it the right way. I was going to hit tab to rotate the text, place it there, and then go in here and select this. Okay, we need to get this radius in here also. So let's stay on this topic, green check mark, dimension, this radius. I like how it puts it along that curve. That's perfect. Continuing with our corrections. All right, now we get to the more difficult parts, and that's these up in here. So I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. No, I don't think it's going to let me zoom in. Okay, so we'll stick with this. All right, so we did get the 2. It looks like all we need to do is put this radius right here. Maybe I'm making this more difficult than it needs to be. Now, I'm not sure why it's trying to select a plane for me. I guess I can hit right click and say, yes, I want this plane. But now it's trying to convince me to go somewhere else. So let me see if I can just get it to behave. Let's look at the top view and see if we can pull it off that way. So dimension here, and it doesn't look like it wants to come to the outside of that. It wants to put it on the inside. Yeah, that's not right. So this is a little more challenging than I was hoping it would be. Let's just try different views until we can get the right thing selected. So I guess not all of them are trivial. Okay, so I guess what I'll do is I'll just put it way out there just so that I can actually get it in play. Then perhaps go back to this home view and see if I can pull it back home. Grab this part right there. So that took a little bit of clicking around so that I can avoid these hidden planes. So we also need a radius for this. And again, it's trying to select something for me. Oh, yeah, I guess the trick is just to go way out here until it starts moving, click it, accept it, and then move it later. So that's an interesting trick. And we have that one in place. And it looks like we only have one more to go, and that would be the distance between here and here. See, I thought that one's going to be the more difficult one. So I think it's between there and there. And then you right click and say select plane. You want it on this one. And then just lay it along this surface. And do we need to rotate the text though? Yeah, I should have rotated the text. Maybe on those 3. It's hard to say. Let's see if they look better when we do that. Wish there was like a rotate tool for that. What if we right click and then we say previous view, how to, home view? Might be might be just a little bit too picky on this, but I do want to try to make it as close as we can to the actual right click to put it on the plane here, and then tab to rotate the text. Oh, that's not any better. This is like horizontal with the page. So this is probably ISO view or ISO standard, and this is probably ANSI standards. So we'll leave these all aligned like this from upper left to lower right to match these patterns down here. So that was okay how we had it. Forgot about, sometimes these letters are slanted for some standards, and this is a standard in which all of them are horizontal. This completes the MBD, the model-based definition, and look how clean that looks. Looks very similar to the other one, It's complete. We see a little bit of overlap down there that we might want to just pull down and then line these up. You want to make sure it's readable for the person who's going to make this part for you, even if it's yourself, if you're going to the machine shop yourself. We're going to save this file as part number 8.1. File, save. Then we're in chapter 8, so part 8.1. Okay, so that concludes this video. In the next video, I want to show you how to turn this into a drawing and print a PDF file, even though the paper size is B. So I'll see you in the next one.